According to state records, Kentucky has 49,000 miles of rivers, streams, and tributaries, and that has second most navigable waterways, only behind Alaska.
An amazing fact, isn't it, right? And with so much water already on the ground here in Kentucky and the repeated heavy rainfall from above, statewide major flooding is inevitable.
But with the frequency of catastrophic flooding, one civil engineer says we need to change the definition of 100-year floods, and local and state government policies can play a role in preventing the damages.
WKYT's Samantha Valentino and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw have that story.
This is the second big flood we've had this year, and it does seem like flooding is more frequent than it's ever been.
I'm planning on moving.
Victims from this past week's floods say they've noticed changes in the Kentucky River. More flooding, more often.
100-year floods are no longer 100-year floods. They occur too frequently to be called a 100-year flood. I used to do mostly flood work, but now I do environmental and flood work together.
This is Chuck Davis, a civil engineer with Beaver Creek Hydrology. He's checking on the ecosystem of a creek in Lexington. Davis studies flood damage and flood control. He says we need to change the definition of a 100-year flood, saying the phrase is outdated. Davis says many of the wettest days on record in Kentucky have happened in the last 5 years.
Unfortunately, but also fortunately for civil engineers who work in this industry, it keeps us busy. We have a lot of problems societally that we need to address. We need to do a better job working with nature and not against nature.
Davis believes people and businesses should change their building habits.
And we've tried to build too close to rivers all over the country. This has been a common occurrence throughout human history.
Davis says city and county officials need to find better ways to communicate and educate on what flood risks are in their communities and track our historic data better.
We have to make changes. We have to make changes in the way we talk about a changing climate. We have to make changes in the way we talk about precipitation events and the risk of flooding.
In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
And Davis says what is unseen after the floods are toxins and other pollutants that stay on landscapes after the water recedes.